Hi everyone! Do you love gnomes as much as we do? Well, if so, join us today as we make these easy DIY gnome door hangers. Hi everyone, I'm Jessica with JC Boutique, and if this is your first time here, I would like to welcome you. If you are a DIY person who loves to make their own things, anything from tumblers to teas, home decor and more, we have a little bit of everything for everyone. And I would encourage you to click the button, subscribe to our channel below, and you'll be notified each and every time we post a new video. Hi guys, it has been a while and I am super excited to be back on the channel. We have had a lot going on. We have moved from a smaller space to a much bigger space where we have a full classroom to do in-person classes, but also more videos for all of you guys out in our YouTube family. So today we're going to do our very first one in our new space, and today we are going to be working on this adorable Holiday Gnome Door Hanger. He also is going to have some interchangeable hats so he can be used all year long. We're super excited about this little guy, and if you guys are ready, we will jump right in. Okay guys, so first let's start by going over all of the supplies. In the comments of the video, you will have links to everything that we are using today. There will be links if you want to just buy the board we're using. There'll also be links to buy a full kit if you're interested. And anything else that we feel helpful to help you recreate this project will all be in the comments below. So be sure to check there. Let's see, so we will start with our board. So these boards are created by a company called Unique in the Creek. There is a link to our affiliate link to order these boards. They are made of a nice flexible plastic, but they're super sturdy, waterproof, weatherproof. These are great, and we really, really do love these. So in your kit, or we're gonna have this, and then we're also going to be using, now we've pre-made these to save time. So these are felt strips. They are 3-inch by 9-inch felt strips. And what you will do to make these is you'll get your felt, you'll cut it 3 by 9. You will fold it in half and you will simply cut 1, 2, 3 little holes or strips, stripes, whatever you want to call them, in your felt. So when they're flat, they'll look like, you know, little accordion things here. It's really easy. If you have a nice rotary cutter, lay these down, cut several at a time. This is great TV work. Do this while you're watching, you know, your Netflix, binging your shows. Get them all ready. You will need 40 of these, 40 strips, 40 3 by 9 felt beard strips. And this is what's going to create our beard. Now our beard is white. You could make a colorful gnome and you could get different colored felt. You could mix in some gray with some white, make him gray looking. You really can do, you can have a brown beard, a black beard. He can do whatever you'd like. But we are using white today, and we're doing, again, 40 3 by 9 pre-cut strips, okay? So we have those. With this project, you are also going to need 42 zip ties, and these are 6-inch zip ties. There will be a link to Amazon where we get these. We buy these in a big bag. Like 1,000 of them is less than $20. And a lot of the wreaths we are going to be doing do use the Unique in the Creek boards and the zip tie method, which is super, super easy. You're going to love it. There's no glue, no drying time. So you should need 42 of those. 1 1/2-inch styrofoam ball, or half circle styrofoam ball. I think these are like 2.5 inches or something, and I'll put a link to where we got those as well. And then you will need a piece of pantyhose. So we went to the Dollar Tree and we bought 1 pair of pantyhose for $1, and we got 6 or 7 of these little nose pieces out of them. And you're gonna need 1 mini rubber band. Again, that's a Dollar Tree item, so Dollar Tree and Dollar Tree. The hats, now we made our hats, and we also make these personalized for you guys. So the people who come and took our class, they all had their hat with a letter on it, or their name, you know, the Smiths or an S, whatever, however they made them. These are available on our website. You can order a personalized hat to go with your gnome. We also can make these in all different kinds of patterns. If you want a different color, you want maybe a St. Patty's one or a Halloween one, we will be making custom hats so you can swap them out with your little gnome guy. So these will be on our website. Or if you have a Santa hat that you've grabbed from the Dollar Tree or from a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby, as long as it is the right size, it should be fine. So you can probably use any hat you'd like, but if you want it to look like ours, you can grab one of ours online. The only other thing we're gonna need is a pair of little snips. These are Harbor Freight specials. They are like under $2 for a little pair of snips, or you can use, they do have like zip tie guns that would work, or heavy duty scissors, but I will say this will save you a lot of hand cramping, and these snips so super easy. Just these little $1.79 specials from Harbor Freight are great. And I'll put a link to these as well. So that's all the supplies that we are gonna need to create our little gnome guy here. And the first thing we are going to do is work on our beard. Now, there's lots of different ways people like to do their board. I'm gonna show you the way that I feel is the quickest and also the easiest when we're making this guy. So what I like to do is preload my board, and I like to do it one row at a time. We will have 5 rows of beard. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is all gonna be filled with beard. So I'm gonna start at the lowest spot here. Now, zip ties only work one way. So if you put it in where the big square is facing you or facing the end, it's not gonna work. Doesn't work. Okay, you have to do it where the little block on the zip tie, hopefully you can see that, is facing outwards. And when you do it correctly, when you push it in, you're gonna hear a click. So what you're gonna do is put it up through one hole, up through the other. I load from the back, and then I take my little zip tie and I just click it, lock it where I hear the first click. And I probably can't hear that, but once it's locked, I can tug on it, I can pull on it. It's in there forever. Now you don't want to pull it tight at this point. You just want to have a little loop here ready to go to put our beard piece in. So we're going to continue down our little row here, all the way down, preloading our little zip ties, okay? So the first row, you're going to do it every pair of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to end up having 9 loops when we are done here, because we're going to have 9 beard pieces that go into Mr. Gnome here. Mr. Gnome needs a name. We should name him. You guys should put comments below. Let's see if we can come up with a cute name for our gnome. I always like to call things by name. Even my printers have names. You know, people name their cars. Well, I name my craft tools. Now, so see this one? Oh, I thought I loaded it wrong. I didn't. But if by chance, let's say you put it in wrong and you got it the wrong way, you literally can just kind of roll it, and it can flip around to get it the right way if you want. And guess what? If you mess up, the best part about these wreaths is that you can just snip it off and grab another zip tie. Like, these are so forgiving, so easy. I really do love this zip tie method. And these Unique in the Creek boards are pretty amazing. They make them in all different shapes and sizes. And there's some really, really cool wreaths out there made with them. And we're hoping to share a lot of that knowledge with you guys to make some really cool door hangers. Okay, so now that we have our first row done, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 loops here. Now I need to add some of my beard pieces in. So you're gonna have a beard piece like that. You're gonna fold them in half. What I do is I pinch them in the middle, I bring that end and that end together. So it's gonna look like a W, okay? And I wanna put it in where it's tall, not flat. I wanna put it in like this, just like I folded it. And I'm gonna slide it in here, and I'm gonna take and I'm gonna pull this zip tie tight, okay? Hopefully you can see that, what we done there. So we just pulled it tight. I'm gonna leave this hanging for right now. We're gonna come back and take care of this guy. So then I'm just gonna keep repeating that step all the way across this bottom row. So fold, pinch, bring that up, slide it in, and then tug, okay? Fold, pinch, fold up, slide it in, and tug. And you want to have about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch of your felt in here, because you just want to make sure there's enough, enough of it grabbing there. If you get it too close, if someone pulled on it, it could, it could fall out. Again, if you mess up, just snip your zip tie and grab another one. So pinch, fold, put inside and tug. So the reason that we preload these guys is so we're not fumbling trying to load a zip tie while we are folding and holding and all that stuff. So it just makes it easier. And not all wreaths use that, preload method, but this guy, it works wonders to be able to just zip it in there, tie it together, move on to your next guy. All right. So that's all we're doing. Fold, pinch, fold, put in and tug. All right. Fold, pinch, fold that up, slide it in, and tug. Fold, pinch. And I hope you guys can see all this because I can't see my screen right now. It's one thing I haven't got set up is all of our video stuff just yet, figuring out where to put the camera, where to put the computer. So this one we're kind of roughing it. Okay, so you get that first row done, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bundles of fluff. And that's going to be the bottom row of his beard. So now I come back and I do it this way because I just think it's faster than pausing after each bundle to grab my snips and snip. I do them all and then I go back through here and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And it really is convenient if you keep like a little cup or a little basket to throw these little pieces in, to gather them up together and then just throw them all at the end. So next row, we are going to repeat the same thing. This thing is super easy, a bunch of repetitive motion. So I'm going to load my guys in. Now, I did it the other way to show you from the front before, but what I really like to do is I like to just kind of fold them from the back in, and I really do like to load the whole row at the same time. So I just kind of slide them in. If you're on a table and you can like just lay this thing off the edge, it's super easy that way as well, but just because I'm recording and need you guys to be able to see everything, it's not as easy to hang it off the table how I normally would if it was just me. These are great couch wreaths, like to sit on the couch and make these bad boys. If you pre-cut all your materials, you can just sit there while you watch Netflix and put them together. They're not messy. There's no glue. Nothing real weird that you need to do them. These are great for kids and grandkids. They can help you make these bad boys. And I'm telling you, these little gnomes are going to be a big hit this year. So if you are a person who missed all your craft shows last year, but you were going this year, I'm telling you, these little guys are going to be awesome. So see how I loaded them all from the back and now I have them all lined up there? Now I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to lock them all in. Lock. Lock. Just making sure you're grabbing the right ends. Lock. 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 Now you could load the whole 5 rows if you really wanted to, but for me, I think they kind of get in the way and have me all fumbling around them. So I do like to do just 1 row at a time. And there we go. So now my second row's in there. So then I'm going to fold, pinch, fold, fold, tuck, and pull. Maybe. There we go. Super, 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 super easy. I love these little guys. So we also are next, we've got a flamingo wreath coming. That's one of our, if you're anywhere near Cincinnati, that's going to be our next in-person class, is going to be a flamingo wreath. And then we do have another gnome workshop after that, because we had so much interest after the first one, we decided to open up another one. So we have that class too. So if you are in Cincinnati, we are going to be making these in person. You get your whole kit and all your supplies you need, and you can come make it with us. Pinch, fold, fold. We're going to have lots of other classes too. We have, if you've never been to our little shop here, we have 16, I think, local artisans here from the greater Cincinnati tri-state area. So everything in our shop is local made, and everybody makes something different. We've got soaps and candles and woodworkings and laser engraving. We've got some hand lettering and painting. We've got some sewers and quilters and jewelry makers. So we really do have some cool things here at our little piece of heaven here. And look how quick that row went. What did it take? 2-3 minutes or something to knock out that row? I mean, these are just super fast. Tuck and pull. There we go. And then I'll just go back, make sure I got them all tight. And if you do one of those little zip tie guns, they're pretty cool. I will say I still think that I'm faster with my own 2 hands, some snips, but I think those zip tie guns are good if you've got a wreath you're doing where you can't get into the small spaces. And if you go to our favorite supplies and tools list on Amazon, you'll see that's on there. So row 3, we're gonna move on through here. I just love these wreath boards. And the lady who owns the company, she is amazing. She's from Canada. She has tons of tutorials and stuff out on these wreaths. I love learning from her. I love watching her lives. She is super funny, great personality. There's just some people on YouTube you just love to watch, and I just cannot get enough of watching Lori make her creations. And so these boards are brilliant. You know, most folks are used to using, standard wreath forms, the wire forms, straw wreath forms. But I happened to come across these, I don't know, maybe a year ago on clearance at Michael's. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And then, of course, I fell in love with them, and Michael's doesn't carry them anymore. But we do offer them, we sell them, and we have a wholesale account with them. So we are here in the States, they are in Canada. So if you want any of these boards with our kits, they all come with our kits. Okay, just zip them all up one at a time, and each row gets smaller, so it gets shorter and shorter. Oops, see that one? I put it in backwards. So I'm going to try to turn it. It's easier to just take it out and put it back in, ladies, or gentlemen, or whoever. Fellow crafters. Or maybe I didn't do it wrong. What am I doing, y'all? I'm working upside down. I'm getting myself all confused. There we go. That looks about right. Okay, so, I lost some zip ties. So now we got that row. Now row 3, ready to go. So So we're gonna fold, pinch, Okay, so to save time, we've done 2 rows together, nice and slow. I am going to fast forward this next part of the video, me finishing up these other rows. I think y'all got it. So I'm going to go ahead and zip up this video for the sake of time to get this done a little quicker. Everyone's time is precious. So I'm going to fast forward this and I will meet you back when we have all 5 rows finished. Okay, now I have all 5 rows of my beard done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all finished, all clipped in. So if you look at him, he kind of looks everything looks a little bit the same. So if you really want to start giving him some character, take a couple of your loops and start just twisting them inside out a few times. And see how that starts to give him a little more curl to his beard? So I just go through and I start fluffing him up little bits. Go. And you can go through and make him as curly or as flat or whatever you want. He's your beard. Do whatever you want with this little feller. But I just think it gives it a little more dimension if you go through and twist him up a little bit, give him some fluff. Like that, you know. And you can always do that at the end or after you get him hung on your door, wherever he's going. So we got all of our beard done. So the next step is he needs a nose. And that's where your little piece of pantyhose, your 1 rubber band, and your nose is going to come into play. So I'm just going to scoot him out of the way just so you can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our pantyhose, you know, like you're sliding it on, okay? I'm going to slide my little guy in the center here. I'm going to take my pantyhose, wrap them around, and put them to the top. So they're just going to bundle up and put it to the top. This instantly gives you a flesh-colored nose. Now, if you want a darker nose, double up your pantyhose. Make it a little thicker. You can 100% paint it if you wanted to paint and waiting for it to dry. Do whatever you want, but I think this is the easiest, quickest way to get a flesh-colored nose. So then that nose is, we want it to hang kind of in here. So we're gonna zip tie your flat part, this part, into this hole right above. So you have your last row, center up from the last row, those two, we are gonna put one more zip tie, okay? So on the back of your board, there should be a number 7 right where you're doing that. So that's where it's gonna go. So I'm gonna do the same thing, I'm gonna lock it in. I'm gonna slide my little nose in, little pantyhose, guys. Kind of make it where the top of the nose is lined up with that. And then I'm just gonna zip tie this bad boy in here. As tight as I can get him. Now, if you wanted to glue him down after the fact, go for it. I mean, but he really shouldn't go nowhere. So, all right, so now we have our beard and now we have our nose. So the next step, before we move on to the next step, we want to put our tie for our hanger in here. Now, you can use a pretty piece of ribbon, you can do really whatever you want, but I am going to use a zip tie. So I'm just going to put my zip tie in at the end here. So you have your one hole in the tip, and then you have 4 holes here. I'm putting it in the middle, and I'm just barely locking it. So I'll have this little loop here. Now, if you're using one of our hats, this loop is going to come through the buttonhole that we have sewn in the back of the hat. If you're using a store-bought hat, you are going to need to slit the back of your hat to where your hanger can come through, okay? So our last step here really is just adding our hat. And so I'm going to slide my hat on. Well, I guess I should do it this way so it's toward y'all. Okay, I'm going to slide my hat on. Trying to make it so y'all can see me. And I'm going to reach through my buttonhole. Feel my little guy. And there's my hook. So see, I've got my hook out of my buttonhole. I'm going to hold on to my hook and tug my hat down. All right, now, you just adjust your hat, wiggle him around the way you want him, and that's it. There is your guy, and he just hangs by his little hook. Now, the best part about this little fella is this hat comes off, and then you just have a guy with a beard that you can put a different hat on after Christmas. So what we have, where's he at? Grab our other friend here. We made this hat that we can use all year long. And we also added a little snap on our hat. It's hidden under the thing. But if you want, you can snap on extra little decorative pieces for the year. I should have had these ready, but I'm grabbing them for you. So let's say it's Halloween time or fall time, we can just put our little pumpkin guy on there. And if it's, maybe it's summer, we want a sunflower on there. We can have a little sunflower on there. A little, St. Patty's Day. They just snap on and hang on your little door. A little Easter one. So we have a full set of these for the year that come with this guy and his snap hat. We also can make custom hats. So if you want a hat that's a certain color or a certain pattern, a certain design, we also offer those as well. So all those are on our website, but you can get this little fella on there as an addition to your other kit. So you can buy him separately. But then you just take this hat off when it's Christmas time, put on this hat. And then when Christmas is over, put this hat back on, and whichever and a little thing you want to put on there, or no thing at all, you can always just hang him like normal. And if you order your hat personalized, then you'll have your last name or your initial on the hat. It could say welcome, it could say whatever, honestly. So there are lots and lots of options for our little guy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to check the links for all the supplies. Jump over, there's a link to our Facebook group if you want to join our creative little family on Facebook. Click that, join us as well. And I guess we will see you next time.